Morning, everybody. Aren't we busy this morning? Let's go right back to the beginning. Lavinia, you've been there for ages. Hello, welcome along. Janet, Shelley, Janet, Sharon, Bernadette. Sorry if I miss anybody. Elizabeth and Anne, Alison, Jacqueline, all on YouTube. On Facebook, we have Lynn and Julie. Morning to you. Morning, Catherine. Morning, Jackie. Morning, another Jackie. Morning, Jean. Morning, Caroline. Morning, Sharon. It's chilly in Florida. It's freezing here this morning. Hello, Vicky in Melbourne, Australia. Morning, Margaret and Terry. Hello, and oh, thank you very much, Jean. I was going to mention that, you know. Morning, Shirley and Ruth in Mississippi and Amanda in Sweden. We're all over the place again, aren't we? Dorothy's in Sutton Coldfield. Morning to you. Morning, Caroline. Oh, Sarah's birthday today. Happy birthday to you. And Sharon King, hello from Melbourne. What better way to spend your birthday, Sarah, than with us this morning? Now I'm going to be doing a little bit of sewing in a bit. I'm going to make a bigger version of the cosmetic bag, but the main thing I wanted to show you is the fabrics, and it's working with cork and faux leather, which I think go very well together. Christine's been baking. Lovely in Hereford. It was really, yesterday, walking the dog without a coat on. It was lovely. Today, blooming freezing out there. Just making a Christmas tree. Morning Glammy Nana in California. Sam's making Christmas curtain. I've noticed, Jenny Slim. Yes, enjoy. Yeah, I want to mention as well, we've got a sale on the website. It's only for the weekend, so it'll finish at 10 o'clock tomorrow night. So I shall show you around there in just a second. But I do want to say again, thank you, Valerie. Thank you so much to everybody who voted for me in the British Sewing Awards. It's when you get when you realise that you've been nominated, that's really exciting, because these are awards that have been voted for by you. They're not industry awards. It makes it a little bit more personal somehow. So to get nominated is incredible. And then when the news comes out that you've actually won something, I was absolutely beside myself. I was over the moon. So I won most inspiring sewing personality and social media superstar. I mean, that's something you don't expect at my age, isn't it? Social media superstar. So thank you so much for that. Yeah, I'm really over the moon with those. Thank you for all of your congratulations. Thank you. I also had a highly commended. So there's winner, and then they award two highly commended. So it's like silver, bronze, and I had two highly commendeds for best book and favourite book for the Half Yard Summer collection. So thank you for those as well. Thrilled. Mrs. Thompson's finishing a gnome in 5. Thank you, Ewan. I'm really over the moon. Thank you very much for those. Because I couldn't do it without you. So thank you. Anyway, I want to talk to you about this sale because it's not going on for very long. There's actually new products in the sale, so we haven't just gone back through things that have been lying around for years. We just thought it's our first anniversary in the office, which is in Bedfordshire. That's gone so quickly, and we just thought, you know, let's have a celebration. And Kim's been going through taking at least 10% off so many items, but there's some brand new items on there as well. We've got brand new faux leathers. Morning, Lisa. Let me show you that actually. So you don't normally get something that we haven't had before going straight into sale, but we have done. So obviously this is a very small amount, but this is the gold. We've also got, oh thanks Jennifer Jones, there's a bronze and there's a silver. It is so incredibly soft. You could wear this, it's beautiful. And it's 150 centimetres wide. And it's in the sale. I know, why do we do that? But let me show you some of the other bits and bobs as well. You may have seen some of the fabrics before, but not bundled together. So these are 2.5 meters. These are pre-cuts. Can't remember what they're called, but we'll have a look in a minute. Have a look on the sale department on wshawsewing.com. So these will come together as 2 pre-cut 1/2 meter pieces. And And again, some of these are absolutely brand new. You haven't seen them before. So that's another perfect pair. 2 half-metre pieces. I'll show you around the website in just a second if you haven't seen it before. Those 2 pieces I just think look so classy. Some of these are really expensive fabrics as well. Those 2 butterflies and the coral I think are beautiful. You don't have to use them together. You know, if you wanted to use that with maybe a green or a blue, then that's fine. They don't come tied together. This is one of my favourites. I love this fabric. It's an art gallery fabric, so it's really beautiful quality. And this one we've had paired with a lilac. That's 150 centimetres wide, so it's an extra wide lilac fabric. And another one of my favourites. You don't normally get favourites in a sale. Look at that one. It's so gorgeous. And there's not enough fabric for a kimono jacket, but wouldn't that have looked lovely? Thanks, Helene. And that's with a mint. Thank you, Fiona. Yes, Iona, if you've forgotten to put your discount code in, then it's the enquiries at debbieshawsewing.com email address, and we'll sort that out for you, won't we, Bob? But remember, there's at least 10% off these, even the new ones. Shush! But if you are a club member, you still get your 10% on top of that, so it means it's like 20% off, doesn't it? These are brand new and in sale. We spoil you. And this is actually all from a collection, so they all go together. There's more as well from this whole collection, but these are the new ones that you haven't seen on our website before. Thank you, Hazel. Morning, Susan. Hello, Elizabeth in Hornsey. Hello, Sue. Christina's making a Christmas mouse today. And then a cheeky look at the sale. Could you do me a favour? If you haven't been on the website before, even if you have, could you double check that all of your details are in there? We've had quite a few orders where there's no name, or it's just a name, or sometimes where there's no name and no address. I can find you because I can trace it through PayPal or whoever your credit card company is. But it's a lot easier if you put your names and addresses on there. So if you don't mind just double checking for me, that would be very much appreciated. Mary's in Loch Lomond. She says it's sunny but cold. Yeah, at least it's not raining. Could be worse, couldn't it? Hi, Alison. Hello, Joanne. Hello, Linda in New Hampshire. Hello, Teresa. Kieran says morning, Bob. Taking no notice, I'm afraid. Okay, I wanted to show you just around the website. So if you haven't been here before, this is what it looks like. So when you go to, that's the home page. There's new in here. The video tutorials is just a link to YouTube. And then as you go down, you've got all of the sale items down there. But if you click on sale at the top here, that'll take you through everything that's in the sale. I'm showing 96 a page, and I've got 4 pages here, so that's nearly 400 items that are all on sale. And some of these are brand new. These are new bundles. So Under the Sea with mint and Under the Sea with 3 half meters are the same. So we've got 20% off those. Look, so if you're a club member, you get 30% off in effect. Those are the ones that I've just shown you, and the new bundles. These are those faux leathers, look. So the copper and silver and the gold, if you're making clutch bags for Christmas time. That's that Herons one, love that one. So we've got 10% off those. There's ribbons in the sale. We've got loads of fat quarters in the sale as well. These are the Christmas fabrics which are current. So again, taken 10% off all of that. Those are really popular actually. And then a cuddle fleece, that is so soft. Some of these jerseys are brand new. The red cuddle fleece, she's put that in the sale, honestly. We sell so much of that. So again, we've got 10% off all of these. Let's go down to the bottom. I'll just flip through really quickly. I just wanted to show you, oh, those are those flannels. Those are so soft. That's the cork I'm going to be using. 10% off cork as well. Let's get down to the next page. So there's loads in my fabric. Got 10% off my fabrics. So lots of ribbons. Oh, and bias tape makers. So it's not just fabric. She's got a bit carried away here, hasn't she? But again, just wanted to show you around. If you did want to order anything, say cutest little elephant, click on it, and then the amount that you want, add to cart, and then you can go through to your checkout. So basically, that's it. So if you do have your code, your member discount code, it goes in here. If you've ordered before, you'll have registered your email address, so you click sign in here. If not, you'll need to fill out all of these bits with the red stars on, and then when you click on the green bar here, that'll show you your shipping cost, because we do ship all around the world. So I just thought I'd show you around there before we get sewing. Oh, I hope you're okay, Olive. And thank you very much, Lynn. Oh, Lynn, if you love that red cuddle fleece, tune in on Wednesday. We've got some plain ones coming in. They're beautiful. That you just want to wrap yourself up in them, don't you? Hello, Wendy in Egypt. Hello to you. Chris is just about to walk the dogs. Morning, Karen. Lisa's waiting for her foster cats to arrive. Hi, Pamela. And Samantha's in Australia. What's that? North Queensland. Welcome along. Should we do some sewing? Hello, Pauline in Franson. Thank you very much. Thank you, Jane. I did get your email about the request for a bow. That was Amanda, wasn't it, Lisa? Should we do that now? Amanda wanted to know how to tie a bow. You know, you probably know. When you have a ribbon, particularly that's plain on one side and patterned on the other, and you tie a bow in the regular manner, you'll end up with one half of the bow inside out, which isn't very pretty. And then you'll be fiddling around with this, trying to make it the right way. And it can be quite, it doesn't want to do it, look, it can be quite difficult to do. So the way that I do it is to take one loop, then make another loop, and just tie those together in a knot. So that's what Amanda is asking about. So I hope you're watching, Amanda, let me know. And literally just tie those in a knot. And then you'll end up with everything facing the right way. When you do tie it, by the way, if you're tying it actually on a project already, it kind of comes out upside down. Does that make sense? So when I turn that through, come on, like the long bits go that way. So if you're tying something that's already, or maybe you've got a bow around a bag or a drawstring bag or something like that, tie it upside down, and then your dangly bits will be dangling in the right direction. So I hope that helps. Let me know if you want to see anything else. Janet, if you email enquiries@debbyshawsewing.com and let me know, and then yes, we can do that. Just email me and let me know. We can't. It's like if you order from Amazon, and you place one order and then you want to order something else, you can't just stick it onto the first order. That's already done and dusted and paid for and postage paid. But if you let me know, I can't actually physically combine them, but I can refund the postage from the extra ones that you put on there. So just let me know. Enquiries@debbyshawsewing.com. Kath's got a new shiny hip put in yesterday. Ooh, oh, you need one of these sewing machines that doesn't have a foot pedal, maybe, Kath. Amanda, did you want that repeating? Can you please? Okay. One more time for Amanda. So make a loop. Make another loop next to it. So you've just got two loops. Doesn't matter what size these are, because you can just fiddle around with them and make them smaller afterwards. And then tie those two into a knot. So that is twisting round. And then you can still pull this through if you want your ribbon to be smaller, your bow to be smaller. So there you go. Hope that helps. Thanks, Marina. Janet says, having problems with my computer, but I'm back after being frozen. Are you being frozen, Janet? It's not very warm here. Debbie should win everything. Thank you. Linda, really easy way to get neat bows. Thank you very much, Michaela. Hello, Marina in Portugal. And Teresa's in New York. Thank you, Carol. Hello, Vasilia. That's a lovely name. Right, let's do some sewing. Sunny and cold in Warrington, apparently. Amanda's got it. That's all right, no problem. So this is what we're making, but I'm going to make a bigger version of it, just to show how easy these fabrics are to work with. And remember, the gold that I'm using is brand new on the website and on sale. And the cork is on sale as well. So I've cut out a few bits. And I'm going to use coral for the lining. Not bad in Ontario, apparently. Thank you very much, Shirley. I thought I'd wear my poppy top today. Right, now then, let me just reach my ruler and my mat. Saying that, I don't know if I've got my rotary cutter down here. Looks like I'm using scissors. Unless you can see it right in front of me. It's probably on the floor somewhere. Okay. Sorry, Bob. So let's see how big we can do this. Because I'm thinking maybe, maybe a wash bag would be the order of the day. Off you go then. So I'm going to cut this in half and I'll measure it for you in a second when I've made it nice and square. Shall I shove up a bit so you can see what I'm doing? That would help, wouldn't it? Thank you, Lisa. Right. So normally I'd be using my rotary cutter for this, but can't find it. I'll tell you what I'm going to do first is sew the gold to the bottom of this, and then I'll cut it out so I know exactly how big we can go. So make sure these are cut straight, and we're just going to sew one piece to the bottom, right sides together like so. Now at this point you don't need any special needles. I'm not using any interfacing on this one because these are two quite firm fabrics and I don't think they need it. Bobbin! If you were going to use interfacing on fabrics like these that you can't iron from the top, then either apply it with a 505 spray, like a repositionable spray, or iron it from the fleece side, but don't hold the iron over the fleece for too long because it'll melt. Whoa, hang on a minute, sorry, went a bit wobbly there. Good morning, what are we making? I'm a little late, says Yvonne. So I was reading your message and sewing at the same time and I went like that. We are making a large cosmetic bag with cork and faux leather. Dawn, enquiries at debbieshawsewing.com. I might not get around to doing it all today because we've had an incredibly busy morning, as you can expect. But drop me an email and I'll try and sort it. Okay, so I've got that. And again, I'll cut this down to size in just a second. I'll do the same with the second piece. Susan, oh, I've just told you, haven't I? I'm answering your questions twice. Cosmetic bag, simple, easy, but fabulous fabrics. All right. So again, I'm not using any particular seam allowance. I'm using the edge of my foot. When you're sewing with fabrics like this, then lengthen your stitch. Mine's on 2.8 at the moment because you have got fabrics that are laminated and they'll perforate. So a very small stitch can make the seam weak. So just have a play with that. You don't need anything. Ooh, I've done it again. You don't need anything special feet-wise at the moment, because both of these fabrics have a cotton backing. So this is the faux leather. It's actually quite stretchy, this one, in one direction, which makes it comfortable if you are going to make something to wear. This one isn't stretchy at all, but it does have a cotton backing to it, so you can sew from this side. All of your seams you can sew without your foot sticking to it. If you're sewing from the top, you should be okay with the cork. With the faux leather, you may need a non-stick or a walking foot to sew that. Anna's just been to a very busy Stamford. Is it busy in Stamford? Forgot about the sale. Oh, don't forget about the sale. The sale is still on until 10 o'clock tomorrow night, but everyone tends to order everything right at the beginning. So just to warn you, we tend to have, so we've only ever had a couple of sales before. And can I, oh, thank you, Chrissy. Can I ask you to be patient with the post as well? There'll be an awful lot of work to do over the weekend. So I'm using, sorry, who was that? Tina. What am I using? It's a Metla polyester thread. I think with, I don't think it really matters. Polyester thread used to be a lot stronger than cotton thread, but I don't think it really matters anymore. I tend not to look at the fibre content of thread. I may be wrong there. I just choose the colour that I like, and I've never had a problem. Cotton threads these days don't tend to, the colour doesn't tend to run. Polyester thread is recommended if you're using stretch fabric because it has a little bit of give in it, but I don't tend to take much notice. Brand wise, yes, Metla, Gutermann, Orifil are the main ones that I use. In fact, it's mainly Gutermann that I use, and I do like those recycled ones because I think it's, well, I voted them winners in the Sewing Awards, did I not? I was also a judge, so I wasn't just being judged, I was a judge as well, and I voted that, or I chose that as the most eco-friendly product because it's something that I use all the time as well. Thanks, Marina. Thank you, Susan. Carol's just back from a walk. Now then, I'm going to top stitch on the faux leather bit. So this is going to be the bottom of the bag, like that. So I am going to use a non-stick foot, and to be honest, my walking foot works better, but I've lost it. So I'm going to use a non-stick foot, and I'm going to have a bit of a practice first of all on the faux leather, just to see what stitch length I need that to be. So non-stick feet are, or Teflon feet sometimes called, sometimes white, sometimes grey, depends on the manufacturer of your sewing machine, but they help to stop your fabric from sticking to the foot. They're not going to stick to the bottom because you've got feed dogs, but they may stick to the foot. So I'm going to lengthen my stitch again, so I'm on 3, and do a few stitches, and you can see they're quite small still. Can you see those? So I've still got a little bit of drag on there. So I'm actually going to go up to 5, and now I've got the stitch length that I want. So I'm not using a specific needle. I've only got my universal needle on here, but the foot could be quite important. But always do a little test first of all. So I'm just going to top stitch just on the faux leather side, and I'm pulling this away from the seam as I'm sewing because it does kind of want to bounce back. So because you can't iron this, you can iron it from the back, but because you can't iron this from the top, I think the top stitching really helps to give you a nice kind of sharpness to the seam. There we go. Just helping that along a little bit. So we've got that, which I think looks really nice and neat. And again, you get creases in this, you can iron it from the back. With the faux leather, you can give it a good old blast of steam from the back. Not too hot with the cork, it tends to wrinkle a little bit. So you can iron it, but just do a little test first to see how hot you can go. I'm just going to do the second piece, top stitch that in just the same way. So that was towards the faux leather bit. Just making tiny, oh look, I'm missing you now, tiny coin purses to sell for charity. That's a nice idea. Didn't know you could get non-stick feet. Yes, you can. Susan, yes, don't we wish we had non-stick feet? Have a few just in case I misplaced one. It does make a big difference, doesn't it, Lisa? That's the same. Sorry, Linda. It's the same with any kind of laminated fabric. So if you're sewing through what they call oilcloth or very shiny fabrics, non-stick feet just help your fabric glide underneath. But again, always have a little play. Do a little bit of a test first of all, just to make sure that you've got the right stitch length. So again, I'm just pulling it away from the seam, taking it slowly. Till it comes to the end. Hello, Jan Marie. Thank you very much. Non-stick bones, that fact, isn't it? Right, so let's decide the size of this bag. I wish I could find my rotary cutter. It'd be an awful lot easier. And just have a look over it. This table is actually really big. So bear with me a second, because I know it's in here somewhere. Nope, we're using scissors then. Right. So I'm going to mark this with a pen first, from the back. So I'm thinking that maybe, until I'm making this up as I go, quite a big bag would be 12 inches deep. So I've got my 8-inch line across the seam there. Let's put that on the seam line, and I'm going to go 4 inches down the bottom. So I've got 4 inches of gold, 8 inches of that. Let's go, this is going to be huge. And then let's go 14 inches across. And just make sure that that measures up again here. So that should be 8 inches. And that is 4 inches, and then we'll join those together. And again, making sure that this is straight across here. There. Oh, 'cause it's going to be massive. Do we want it that big? I'm going to make it an inch shorter. Maybe that, 2 inches shorter. Maybe that was a little bit too big. So it's 10 inches by 14 inches, okay? I've not sure my zip's long enough, haven't I? Yes. So 10 inches that way, 14 inches that way. But I'm going to taper it. So I'm going to make the bottom wider than the top. So I'm going to measure 1.5 inches from the top here and draw a line down to the bottom corner, and 1.5 inches from the top here and line down to this bottom corner, and then we'll cut that out. There we go. And again, normally use my rotary colour for this. Anne's off to Harrogate. Nice. Don't know when that's on. Please bring a rotary colour. It's not in, Sarah. He's gone to the post. But I wouldn't mind another coffee. My son's in, but he won't be watching. But I wouldn't mind another coffee. That one's gone cold already. That's true, Gillian. And certainly if you're going away for a weekend or anything, you can never have a bag that's too big. So I'll need to cut 2 pieces from the outside and then use these as templates for 2 pieces from the lining as well. So I'm not adding extra pockets or anything like that. And again, just to mention, if you wanted to put any interfacing on the back, if it's fusible, I wouldn't use something like Decaville because you're just not going to be able to stick it, because normally you iron from the fabric side. Don't iron from the fabric side of these, but you can put H640 or the like, or a foam or a fleece on the wrong side. Use steam and just press up and down with the iron. Don't drag it because it won't like it, and just press up and down very gently. Don't hold the iron on the fleece for too long because it'll melt. Alison, always do a little bit of a test with, it depends what you're making. Red tone fabric being colour fast, it tends to be one of the colours of fabrics that doesn't tend to be colour fast. A lot of fabrics nowadays are pre-washed before you even buy them, so they're not going to shrink and they're not going to run. The best thing to do really is just to do cut a little bit off and wash it and see what happens. Or if you don't want to, if you're a little bit impatient, because I tend not to pre-wash, to be honest, what you could do there is to give it a blast of steam, and that just kind of helps to set things, I find. Anybody else get any tips for red fabrics? What's the best one not to run? Polyester won't, because it can't. Polycotton shouldn't. So maybe it depends what you're making. If you're quilting, you don't want polycotton though, do you? I'm getting some kind of, I've just read that one. Took the dogs for a walk. Amanda, I'm just making a cosmetic bag, so it's quite a simple project. But I'm making a bigger version of that, but it's working with the cork and the faux leather, which is what I wanted to show you really. I'm not going to be there, Gillian, at Harrogate. I'm a bit busy for shows at the moment, I'm afraid. So no, we don't have any plans to go anywhere. Hello, Robin. It is 5:32 a.m. in Kansas. Are you up early or are you up late? I can show you what I'm doing, couldn't I? That's what I'm here for. So I've drawn around the first side, but make sure that the seams match. So, you know, you can draw around it up here, but then it's going to look a little bit odd. So match the seams, and then I'm just cutting out the same shape. And I need to cut the same again from 2 lining pieces. So I can do these at the same time. No, not doing any shows at the moment. I'm not even visiting or anything. I'm just we just don't have time at the moment. Right, so 2 pieces from lining. So much easier with a rotary cutter, I have to say. We should not use a polycotton for quilting. Michelle, it doesn't crease well. Quilting cotton tends to be a little bit of a looser weave, which is great if you're hand sewing as well. But with cotton, you'll get a really nice crease. You'll get a nice crease on your seams, and you'll get it's the one occasion where you want your fabric to crease, I think, when you're quilting. And polycotton tends to be a little bit soft for that kind of thing. I mean, you can, but I think most quilters would prefer to use a cotton for that reason. I said, well, you can all have a bit of champagne on my behalf if you like. Always up for a glass of champagne. It's a pity we can't share it, isn't it? Oops, that's moved a little bit. Right, then we'll get this zip put in. Oh, I love the colours as well. They're very autumnal, aren't they, Linda? Sorry, Susan. Right, so it looks like, yes, I heard her say. So I'm not keeping up with your conversations. Solve. Right, I need to cut a little bit of cork to go on the end of the zip as well. So just use an extra little bit of this. These are too big. I'll chop them down after I've put them on the zip. So let's see how long we want the zip to be. I'm going to cut off the stoppers at this end because I don't want to sew over those. And I just want the zip to be slightly shorter, so the zip doesn't disappear into the seams at the end. I'm just going to do that. Yeah, Lisa, I thought it was time I stopped drinking gin for breakfast and had champagne breakfast instead. Now I'm an award winner and all that. So I'm going to make the zip about 1/2 inch shorter than the top. And I need to sew on the extra fabric to make it the same width. So hopefully that'll make sense. Sarah's got a snowball. What's in a snowball? That's avocado, isn't it? Avocado? No. Advocar. Is that right? I haven't had one of those for a long, long time. Right, I'll put my regular foot back on again if I can find it. Here we go. Gin and cider. I don't like cider. When I was young, probably 8 or 9 years old, we went to a wedding reception, and I didn't know that cider was alcoholic. I thought it was pop, and I was a very drunk little child, and I was very sick as well. I can remember my sister taking me to the bathroom, and I was just going, "I love you." Like 8, but I can't bear the thought of it, the smell of it, or anything since then. It really put me off. Funny, isn't it? It's probably a very nice drink, but oh, mind you, the gin might make it taste a bit better. I'll show you what I'm doing, shouldn't I? I've put two pieces, one each side, so they're a little bit too big, but I find it easier to do that than cut them exactly to size. Then I'm just going to fold those back. So basically I've lengthened the zip on both sides so that it's going to fit the top of the bag, and then the same on this side. These are way too long, so let's pop that there and that one there. Thank you, Chantel, glad you're enjoying that. And then sew across the end. Make sure the zip's closed. You could put a little bit of glue from a glue stick on there if you wanted to. All right, and let's sew straight across. Oh, Sarah, now I'd probably like Babycham now. Isn't that like Prosecco? But I thought probably about the same. I'd had a lot to drink when I was a child, probably about the same age. I can remember being at my grandma's, and they were drinking Babycham, and I wanted some. And oh no, you won't like it, Deborah. You won't. Yes, I will like it. I will like. Well, you got to drink it all if I give. And they're in little bottles, and I hated it. And I actually tipped it into a plant. Never told anybody that. I tipped it into a plant. Yes, I thought I'd be in trouble, but I like it. I do like Babycham. Not had that since. Do they still do Babycham? Anyway, I was looking for my glue stick. I've lost that as well. Here we are. Right, so zip's going to go facing down, so the slider's facing over the fabric with these end bits evenly each side, and I'm lining up the edge of the zip with the edge of the fabric. So not these bits, it's the zip that I need to line up. So I'm going to pop a little bit of glue just to hold that in place. I'm also going to glue these bits together because they're fighting back. Stay, and line the edge of the zip up, so you can measure that if you want that to be exact. Let's just press that down. Then I'm going to sew down the center of the zip tab, so where that would line up here. I'm going to move the needle across to the left hand side. So if I know I've said before, and you probably know, but if you've got a computerized sewing machine, you can change the needle setting by going up and down on the stitch width, because there's no stitch width on a straight stitch. So that'll swing the needle from one side to another, and I'm just going to sew down the centre of the zip tape and just hold those together. Like that. When it comes to the zip, leave the needle down, lift the foot right up. If you've got an extra high presser foot lifter, that would help as well. Then we'll just manoeuvre the zip out of the way and carry on sewing. And we'll do the same with the opposite side of the zip. And we'll do that one open. So a bit of glue on there. You don't need to if you haven't got any glue then. Ooh, that was a big blob. Where can you go? You can go in there. And this goes together. The deer glasses. Oh yes, I remember those. I did have actually, and I thought it was a toy, but it was something that my dad probably nicked from a pub. I don't know. A yellow Babycham Bambi ornament in my bedroom. So I'm lining up again the ends of the zip and the edge of the fabric together. I've missed something, haven't I, Dorothy, for the top stitching? Vodka and Babycham. Ooh, gosh, what are you lot like? You and your tipples. So just doing the same again. Sewing these down the centre of the zip tape. Come into the zip, so leave the needle down. And carry on sewing. Watching you from Geelong, is that in Victoria, Australia? Thank you very much. Welcome along. A walk in the sunshine. Diane, where are you? Barbados. No sunshine here. I'm just going to trim off these end bits now, just to make that a little bit neater. So you can see all that's done is extended the fabric at the end of the zip, so those bits go into the seam, not the zip bit, so it makes it a little bit less bulky. Thanks, Lisa. Yes, Lisa's saying remember to use your discount code if you're on the website. Remember, we do have, if you just joined us, we've got a sale, at least 10% off almost 400 products, including some brand new ones, including the cork and the faux leather that I'm using here. But if you're a member of the Half Yard Club, you still get your 10% discount. There's no new code or anything like that. You use the same code, but it puts your 10% discount on top of whatever discount you're already using. But that's only until 10 o'clock tomorrow night. Brandy and Babycham. Babycham and black currant. Managed to drink 7, wobble but not a G. You've got a gut made of concrete. We need to put the lining on the opposite side now. So we need to sandwich the zip in between the two pieces, and I like to sew from this side because I can see where I've stitched, and I want to sew directly over the same stitch line. Yes, Diane, there's almost 400 products in the sale, and a lot of it is brand new. So we've got brand new bundles that I've put together. The gold and the copper and the silver faux leathers are all brand new. Got brand new floral fabrics on there as well. Waking up in Pennsylvania, morning. Deborah's in Peru, just woke up. Hello, morning, Deborah. What time is it in Peru then? Scrumpy cider. Oh. I used to, you know, when you get to the age where you can get away with going in a pub, I don't think kids do it so much these days, do they? There's probably so much more to do than go for a drink. I used to think it was very grown up to drink a gin and orange. Oh, it just burned the back of my throat. It was horrible, but I'd drink it anyway because it was grown up. So again, the second side of the lining going on the opposite side. Lisa, I didn't bring it up this time. I can't remember who mentioned champagne, but it wasn't me that brought up the alcohol this time. More acceptable on a Wednesday live, isn't it, when at least it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Oh gee, it's almost 12, isn't it? Cherry Bee and Babycham. Cherry Bee. Cherry bee, ripe I cry. That was the advert, wasn't it, in the 70s? Is that the one? That took me back a bit. Oh, go on, the 1970s adverts. Oh, can I tell you that? I've just designed a new fabric range, which will be ages before it's out yet. Ages. I've only just come up with the drawing, so it'll be well into next year. Hello, Michelle in Trinidad and Tobago. Oh, thank you very much. And it's 70s. It's 70s fabric. And you know, I had so much fun designing it. I shouldn't be telling you, it's ages away yet. But I had so much fun designing it because it took me back to doodling on my jotter when I was at school. All those same kind of swirls and you know, the big bubble kind of letters with like little holes for the 9 and then a big bubble for the C, or you know what I mean. Well, you won't know what I mean if you weren't around then, would you? Bonjour et bon appétit. Say it's dinner time in France. It's 12:45. Says épouse. Is that how you say it? Hello, Joy in Tennessee. Did dime work? Work early to do dime work out at home. Dime work. Don't know what dime work is. Gin and orange. Oh, you know. But the Cadbury. Yeah, the Cadbury Smash with the aliens. Forgot about that one. What did they used to say? They had like metal heads and like zippy a bit, weren't they? Forgot about that. I'll show you what I'm doing. No. So I'm going to sew all the way around the outside. I'm going to try and make sure that my side seams are lining up here as well. And when I come to the lining, because I've got a bit that goes across, I'm going to push that towards the lining side. And I'm going to leave a turning gap in the bottom. I am going to square the bouncers. Oh, Michelle, je suis en train de manger. I don't know what that means. Something eating, isn't it? Fromage get smashed, that's the one. Make sure the zip's open when you do this as well. If you want to pin with the cork and with the faux leather, pin within the seam allowance because it can leave holes, or use your fabric clips like that. Smash me smash. Oh, that's right. They cut them with the metal knives and then cut them all to bits, and they had hysterical laughter, didn't they? Remember that? Okay. I'm not going to pin it. I'm just lining it up and just going for it. Joy's having a chat to Lynn. Love it when you talk to someone. It's nice, that, isn't it? On a Saturday morning, a Wednesday afternoon, just to come and have a bit of a chat. Bit of nonsense. Cherry Bee oversized. Never a fan of Cherry Bee. It's all a little bit rich. Oh, Anne, thank you. Top stitch the zip. Honestly. So what I'm going to do now, you just talk amongst yourselves while I unpick what I've just done, because I didn't top stitch the zip. How many times have I done that before? And can't find a quick unpick either. It's because I don't use them very often, so it takes me a while to find a quick unpick. Nose is growing slightly there. To do some workout. Deborah's keyboard, she says, is only made for Spanish. Drunken orange, still drink gin, but not. I don't mind a gin and tonic if it's weak. You know, as in there's not much tonic in it. I don't mind that. So I'm going to top stitch around the zip now. I will give that a press actually. So I'm all ahead of myself. It's nearly 12 o'clock and I'm thinking I should be winding this up and I'm late. Right, so I'm going to iron this from, I'll show you actually, you can iron. If you've got creases in your faux leather, I don't know if I've got, I think I'm out of water. You can quite happily iron this from the wrong side. It doesn't mind it at all. With the faux leather as well, if you're washing it, you can wash on a 30-degree wash. I wouldn't tumble dry it, but you can certainly wash it. I've done that before now. On a bag like this, you'd only spot clean it anyway. So remember, that's the gold from the brand new faux leathers that we've got on sale for some reason. Brand new products all on sale, I know. We like. Joyce, if you go to Half Yard Club website and go to the About Me, and you'll see the discount code there. It's next to a picture of a yellow bag, a yellow faux leather bag actually. If you've got a problem you can't find it, drop me an email. But if you are going to order anything, I'd do it quite quickly, to be honest. We tend to sell out of stuff rather quickly. Hello from Wallaroo in South Australia. Oh, thanks, Pauline. I'm sorry you're not feeling too good. See if we can cheer you up a little bit, shall we? Have you always lived in Australia? What was your favourite tipple when you were 8 years old? I don't know why we end up going down lines like that. I really don't. The ads of the 70s and 80s. Cadbury's song, Nuts Ho. Oh! Everyone's a fruit and nut cake. Crazy for those hazy nuts and raisins. Something like that, wasn't it? Gosh. Right. And then we're going to sew these right sides together like I never made the mistake in the first place. Weekend chocolates with a woman on a horse. Oh, I don't remember that one, Leslie. Weekend chocolates. Don't remember weekend chocolates. Remember the flake adverts? I think they were more 80s, weren't they? They were rather suggestive. Right, just lengthen my stitch a little bit. There we go. Just oh, lovely.
Gin.
Gin. Have you heard this lot with their cherry bees and baby shams and thank you. And that's only from this morning.
God, it's like a cocktail bar in here.
I know. Hello, sweetie. Hello, puppy dog. Right. That was it. Off out again. Nice cup of coffee. That's very hot. Yes. Oh! I didn't top stitch the blooming thing. You'll be talking about me next, saying that I've been on the gin already this morning, honestly. Thank you, Linda. Thank you, Brenda. Thank you, Mary. Thank you, Alison. I know. Jean, thank you. Then we're going to top stitch around the zip. Hangs head in shame. Did it twice. Shelley, it's not so much the gin at this time in the morning. I'm on the champagne these days. I've gone up in the world now. I've got titles. Yeah, I think it has, Susan. Award gone straight to my head. Everything's gone fuzzy. That'd be something, wouldn't it? If I forgot how to sew, what would I do all day? Might have got a daughter to do that now, haven't I? Fancy doing that twice. Over you go. Just a little bit of help over the thick bits. The Woolworths Christmas adverts, yeah. Do you remember Nimble Bread? I never quite got, well, I never had any Nimble Bread, but it was like a lightweight bread, and they had a hot air balloon, and she flies like a bird in the sky. That was Nimble, wasn't it? So if you had Nimble Bread, you'd float. Oh, my Julie. Got to be done, hasn't it? Every chocolate is weekend chocolate. Godiva chocolate, not heard of that one either. So what, I know we've said this before, but what chocolates do you have in the States, and what chocolates do you have in Dubai, and what chocolates do you have in Australia? Is it different to what we have over here, or do you have Cadbury's everywhere? I don't know. Do they export? Bourneville chocolates. Shout out to Cyprus. Sue, hello. I'm not doing great today, honestly. Hershey chocolate. That's an American one, isn't it? An M&M plant near us. Smells nice at times. The John Lewis ads are lovely. Oh, yeah, I like the John Lewis adverts. They normally do good ones. Flake adverts. Would you risk it for a Swiss kit? Oh yes. Can I sew these together now? I think I'm all right, aren't I? Let me show you. So I've just top stitched all the way around with the zip open. Then we're going to sew it together for the third time. That was awful stuff. The Cadbury factory in New Zealand. Is there a Cadbury factory in New Zealand? Didn't know that. Irish Cadbury's is much creamier apparently. Godiva choc is sold in the UK. Is it? I don't eat a lot of chocolate, to be honest. American chocolate's horrible, says Sharon. Oh, put a tiger in your tank, wasn't it? And that was it Esso? Put a tiger in your tank? Can't remember. You don't see adverts for petrol these days, do you? I suppose they don't need to advertise. I'm going to buy it anyway, aren't we? Percy Pig is my favourite. Oh yes, I watched a documentary about Marks and Spencer's yesterday. That was really interesting. That's Percy Pig, isn't it? Those sweets, and they were saying how they were designed and made initially. Germany has Mica-Ritter Sport. Oh, Kinder. We have Kinder over here. Is chocolade chocolate. American chocolate. UCF's mum says American chocolate is delicious. Hershey in Niagara Falls, is it? A cosmos flower that smells like, oh, missed that one. So blue. There's a cosmos flower that smells like chocolate and is a chocolatey colour. Oh, I've seen those. I think we had some of those on gardening shows when I was on Ideal World a while ago. I know, £50 for half a tank of petrol is ridiculous. I remember when I was a lot younger, my dad saying that my dad was a driver, that he'd stop driving if petrol reached £1 a gallon. He'd be spinning in his urn now. Right, remind me to leave the turning gap as well, because I'll be doing that next, won't I? Forgetting everything. I've got a very sad looking dog. Isn't that a puppy? Vodka and pineapple juice. You can get tipsy without tasting the alcohol, says Helene. I am going to box the corners, Marion. Yes, I didn't forget that. I'm going to do that after. The reason being, if I cut out the corners as a square, the base of my bag isn't actually square because it's at an angle. So I find it more accurate to box the corners by squishing them just over that bit. So yeah, I'll do that. I probably would have forgotten. You know, that's one of those days today. Dove chocolate. Not heard of Dove chocolate. Gary likes Easter egg chocolate. I don't know what the difference with Easter egg chocolate is, but he likes Easter egg chocolate. We don't really have chocolates. We don't really do sweet things, to be honest. Petrol costing £1.11 a gallon. Mary, she's fine. Thank you for asking. That's very sweet of you. She's licking it at the moment, actually. She doesn't favour it. So, I mean, you wouldn't know when she's running or walking or anything like that, but when she stands, she puts a weight on her good leg. So I think even, I mean, it's been almost a year, hasn't it? I still think, or is it longer than that? It's longer than that. It's not quite as strong, but she's happy. It's not painful anymore. She's not on medication. I give her actually U-Move tablets to help to prevent arthritis, because the vet did say that she would suffer with arthritis when she's older. So you do what you can, don't you? Peach schnapps and blue wig. Oh, we're still on the alcohol with Diane. I've never had a peach schnapps. Mon Chéri made by Ferrero Rocher. Right. So I'm going to just put my hand in there and squish the seam so the side seam sits over the base, and I'm going to push the seams in opposite directions, and you can feel that those match up. And let's stick a couple of pins in here on the bit that I'm going to chop off so I don't mark the fabric. And I'm going to measure 1.5 inches from the point of the end of the seam, not the edge of the fabric, from the end of the seam. And with my ruler, I'm lining that up across the seam so I know that it's square, and then draw straight across. And we'll sew across that bit. Take my pin out and chop it off. And then we need to do the same with all the other corners on the lining on the outside of the bag. So squish in there. I missed a bit of the seam at the end, but I did notice that, and I thought I'm going to chop it off anyway, so I don't have a concern about that one. Oh, Sarah's little blind dog has U-Move every day. I think it works. It comes with great reviews anyway. And when I took Bob into, she had physiotherapy after operation, and they suggested U-Move. So actually, I think you lot did as well. I'm sure I posted, or I asked in one of the lives, and somebody suggested U-Move. So, and she loves them. No more of that trying to disguise tablets inside something. You can just feed them to her. She loves them. Speaking of chocolate, says Susan, it just dawned on me that there's a tub of roses in front of me. Oh, roses grow on you, don't they? So there you go, a chocolate under 70s advert. I've just run out of bobbin thread. Bear with me a second. I'll put a cream on it. Be fine. Linda, honestly, brandy in the mince pie. See, I don't like brandy and stuff. I don't like brandy cream or brandy custard or brandy. It's the easiest way to box corners, cutting the corner pieces before or after sewing. That's it doesn't really matter. With this one, I wanted to box the corners afterwards because it's that shape. So just cutting out a right angle wouldn't work because I'm not cutting it from a right angle. Be aware, how can I explain this? If you have, let me just sew this one and then I'll see if I can explain what I mean on another corner. Right, so pretend this is a square corner, all right? That's what I mean about why I didn't want to just do that so you can see what I'm doing. If I just cut a right angle from here, it's not going to work. So if I measure, say, an inch from the seam, these two sides aren't equal because that's angled inwards, so that they wouldn't match up. They'd need to measure exactly the same, and it can be done on a shape like this, but you need to do a little bit of maths to figure it out. But if this was a square, if you're going to box the corners, cut out the corners, measure from the seam. So if that's going to be an inch, measure from the seam, not from the edge of the fabric, because your seam allowance might not be perfect. And you want this length to be the same as this length, because those two pieces are going to match up. So be aware that if you don't have a base seam, maybe you've got one piece of fabric that wraps all the way under, you need to measure from the seam here to the bottom there. So always measure from the stitch line, because as I said, those two pieces need to be exactly the same size. But I don't think it matters. Sometimes that's a little bit easier to cut that out and sew it that way. It looks exactly the same no matter which way you use them. So it's personal preference, really. After Halloween, we make our own candy for the holidays. Never made candy, never made sweets. Leslie got drunk on brandy once. Was that earlier today? Irish coffee had to be homemade, with homemade mince pies. I might make mince pies this year. We've got, I think we're going to have a very cosy Christmas. I don't know if I said last week. Everybody's coming, so there will be 9 adults and 3 kids. My son's going to do the cooking. He used to be a chef and he volunteered, so I was over the moon about that. So that's going to be wonderful. And yeah, maybe I'll make some mince pies. Is Kim watching? Should we make mince pies this year, Kim? Should we do it with the kids? That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Come over in the holidays, we'll make mince pies. Because you can make them way ahead, can't you? Yes, but at the moment we don't have a floor in our living room. So we are living in the hallway. So we have a sofa and a TV, which is like here, and 2 chairs, and that's it for 9 people and 3 children on a very long, thin strip. So hopefully we'll get a floor down in the living room before Christmas, but if not, we're all going to be sitting like this on the sofa. Hello, Rose in Arizona. I've just asked one of the nurses if I can have a gin instead of painkillers. I don't see anything wrong with that, Kath. It's medicinal. They've probably got a whole stash of it somewhere. You know what nurses are like. Now I'm in trouble. Oh, Sarah lives in where's that then? Sarah lives in the town that Marmite. Love Marmite. Just spiced fruit loaf on. A pie. Oh, a spiced fruit loaf. Oh, you're getting me want to do some baking now. I haven't done any baking for years. Just turning this the right side out. And where'd you get your pens from? Oh, Hazel, I got those off Amazon. The friction pens. So those are the ones you get with the cap on. I tend to leave the tops off and they dry up really quickly. So I've gone for these, and I don't know why, but even when they're open, they don't dry up. And those have got the click ones, so they've both got little rubbers on the end. They're exactly the same, but those are click ones. And I got them off Amazon, and they come in packs of, is it 6 and 9 or so? There's loads of them in a pack, and they do green and red and blue and black, I think. But yeah, like those ones. Always do a patch test first. So with the right side out, Vegemite in Australia. Tried. I've had Vegemite. I'm sure I've had Vegemite. Pull the outsides of the hole away from each other. A thermal casserole caddy. That's a good idea, Lois. And then let's sew across my hole to close it. And then we're just about done. The dog's making herself comfy on the sofa. She does this padding around, you know, like cats do. She does this padding around thing to get herself comfy. Let me just have a catch up on YouTube, make sure we've got everybody over here. Thanks, looking forward to getting out. Oh, are you in? Oh, Branson, I haven't had Branson pickle for a long time either. Had a very drunk Labrador one Christmas as he ate a whole box of liqueurs. Oh, chocolate caramel. Oh, is it Elizabeth's birthday? Did I miss that one? Happy birthday to you, Elizabeth, if that's you. Right. So I'm pushing the lining inside the bag. If you find that you need to iron this still, a couple of things you can do. You can give it a steam from a distance and smooth it out, or put your iron inside. Now if you put your iron inside, be careful of steam, because the fabrics aren't porous, so the steam isn't going to come through. Certainly with cork it is waterproof, so just be aware of that. Good morning. Julie's just placed an order and forgot a discount code. Julie, anybody that's placed an order and forgot your discount code, drop me an email please. It's enquiries@debbieshawsewing.com and I'll refund those for you. Either me or Kim will. It might not be today, because I know it's going to be manically busy because it's sale day, so in fact, a sale weekend. So bear with us again with the postage, and obviously nothing's going out today because it's Saturday. So we'll hopefully get everything out on Monday and Tuesday, but it may take a little bit longer because we tend to have quite a few hundred orders there. Panyan pickle, not heard of that one. What needle are you using for the vinyl, for the bamboo fabric? For the cork fabric, just a universal needle. It doesn't need a special needle at all. Actually, that didn't turn out as big as I thought it would do. That's quite a nice size, isn't it? So I've got a little one and a bigger one. I'm going to put a ribbon through the zip. So needle-wise, it doesn't need anything special for either fabrics. I did use a non-stick foot when I top stitched on the faux leather. You probably don't need a non-stick foot or a walking foot on the cork, but your faux leather will tend to stick to the underside of your foot and it'll make your stitches really tiny. So if you're watching earlier, nothing special for your needle. Non-stick foot or walking foot or a roller foot if you're stitching on the top, doesn't matter from the back. Always iron from the wrong side, don't put too much heat on the cork, and pin in the seam allowance because it can leave holes in there as well. Oh, I'm glad you like it, Lisa, thank you. After the third attempt of sewing it, honestly, what am I like? More expense. Yeah, so what was I talking about? Oh yes, with the leathers. So these faux leathers, I haven't got a sample of the others actually. That's the gold one. There are 3 brand new faux leathers on the website: silver, gold and copper. And they've only just come in, they've only gone on today, and they're on sale as well. Now remember, all of the sale prices that are on debbieshawsewing.com, if you're a club member, you're going to get your extra 10% on top of that. So you don't need to do anything different. Put your code in as normal. But whenever you see 10%, 20% discount or whatever, so I'm just looking for a ribbon, brought some with me, you'll still get your 10% discount on top of that. I know I brought the ribbon up here because I thought that will match perfectly, and I don't know what I've done with it. Funny, isn't it? Don't go anywhere, don't move anywhere, don't move anything in between the lives, lose everything. Maybe I'll put a ribbon through there when I get back. That would match perfectly, but it's too big. So like with this one, I tell you what's really useful for, or handy for little ribbons like this, you know the tags that hang your clothes up? I always chop those off because you always end up seeing them, but yeah, they tend to be just the right size to thread through the little hole in the end of the zip, so I do that. Thank you, Brenda, glad you liked it. Thank you, Dottie. Thank you, Jean. She's congratulating me. Did I tell you I'd won an award or two? Yeah, that was me. Who's that loving the chat? Thank you, Debbie. She says she loves the chat. So I'm just going back a little bit. Thank you, Jean. Thank you, oh, hello, Simone. It's Helen's birthday yesterday. Happy birthday for yesterday, Helen. Was 57 and a year old. I still feel young because she's the baby of the family. I'm the baby of the family as well. Look on your right. What am I looking for on my right? I can't see anything different on my right. Should I look on my left? What am I looking for? My ribbon. Oh, thank you, Sarah. Glad you enjoyed it. Virginia, we're going out from here, okay? So that might be your connection. I don't think we've got any problems at this end. Just see how many viewers we've got on Facebook at the moment. Because I think we've got almost twice as many on YouTube. That's a first, isn't it? Getting busier there. Jay's just placed an order. Thank you very much. Kate's fallen in love with cork. I love working with cork, and I think it's perfect for bag making as well. And it's if you've used it, isn't it? It's so easy to sew. It's fabric. It's just fabric. But the nice thing about it is that it's Helen's birthday. Oh, I've done Helen's birthday, so I'm a bit behind. Enjoy the show as always. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Mary. I will do. Yeah, the nice thing about the cork, and we've got quite a few on the website, I think, unless they've all gone now, is that it's sustainable. So I know it's printed and it will have been treated, but the base of cork fabric actually comes from the cork and it's sustainable. Ribbon by my right hand. I can't see ribbon by my right hand. Those ones were too big. I specifically had a little strip of gold ribbon that I brought down that I thought that would be perfect to go inside there, but there you go, lost it. I can now tell my family I know an award-winning. So yeah, yes, you do. You know an award winner, Linda. Oh yes. Yeah, thank you again for that. I was really chuffed. Brandy, because you've got little pieces of cork, you can just use it like patchwork fabric. You may need to top stitch it though, because it will kind of try and bounce back again, away from the seam. Glenys, email me, enquiries@debbieshawsewing.com, and I'll refund your discount. If you can, if you've got your membership number, that would be useful as well. Thank you. Teresa, it's not a problem. Thank you. Thank you, Marissa. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Right, I'm off then. I'm actually making a bag video this afternoon, so I'm hoping to upload that onto YouTube tomorrow. I shall see you again on Wednesday. Still don't know what we're doing. At 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Is the ribbon inside the bag I made earlier? I'm giving up on the ribbon, Gillian. Giving you a cut. Do you know, my eyesight isn't too good. I think I need new contact lenses. Everything goes a little bit blurry sometimes. Susan's just put giving you a curtsy, Debbie, and I just read giving you a crusty Debbie. But thank you very much, Susan. Curtsy back again. I think I better go. So I'll see you again on Wednesday. Don't forget your discount code if you're going to go to the website now and order anything in the sale, or anything that's not in the sale for that matter, and enjoy the rest of your weekend. I shall see you again Wednesday. You take care. Bye bye.